Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Triangle Strategy walkthrough, sorry. So the last video there we did Lord Landry's last stand again. And now we just need to knock out, looks like we've got a side story. I think I'm going to start with this here. So it says, Twins Gate, the mighty fortress that stands at the border with Ezfra. Something is afoot in the heart of the duchy, but what?
The recent days have seen rising lawlessness near the border. Doubtless the consequence of the instability in Glenbrook.
Indeed.
Lord Svarog, forgive me. I forget myself, my lord.
It's too late for that. Out with it.
My lord, the bulk of our forces are occupied abroad, leaving only scant numbers at home. The longer this campaign continues, the more fraught the situation within our borders becomes.
Your concern is duly noted, Sicris. Rest assured that the Archduke is not ignorant to such issues. And besides, strength of arms is not the only means by which order is maintained. The time has come to gird our nation with fire and steel.
Fire and steel, my lord?
Yes, we shall fulfill our duty at last.
Alright. Next up here at Whiteholm Castle, it says, his family dead and his kingdom fallen, Roland finds himself alone in a solitary jail cell in the dungeons of the castle he once called home.
Cordelia, what's wrong?
Brother, they...
Calm yourself. Take a deep breath. Now, tell me what happened.
I heard them talking. I wasn't supposed to, but I heard them. Thalas and... Oh, Roland. The Archduke, he means to order your execution.
Grave news, my lord. Prince Roland is to be beheaded at the Archduke's decree.
What? On what grounds?
For inciting unrest by ordering the invasion of the Falk's domain.
The gall of that man!
Furthermore, House Wolffert has been invited to attend the execution. Our presence is mandatory.
Ah, of course it is. That sneak.
Do you mean to go?
We dare not disobey the summons. The consequences would almost certainly be dire.
Are we just dogs to answer his beck and call?
My lady. Please, I understand. But we have no choice.
I know this, and I apologize. It's just that... there are things we must protect. Things I must protect. Lest we lose what makes us human.
News of Prince Roland's coming execution is carried far and wide. In the blink of an eye, the kingdom of Glenbrook is no more. The realm reels from the tragic turn of events. Prince Roland's death marks an uncertain change in the flow of history. A change which none in the Old Kingdom have the power to reverse. However, the eruption of conflict in the region does not go unnoticed by its neighbors. In the holy state of Hyzant, opportunistic hearts stir.
My dearest friend has been sentenced to die, and there is naught I can do. What use is a lord's position if he can't even save those closest to him?
Serenoa, you mustn't.
Is it true? Another ravenous dog is stirring?
It is. We face none other than Minister Sorsley End, one of the Saintly Seven. It seems he means to take our domain for his own.
House End? Their position in Hyzant has been in decline for some time.
Doubtless, Sorsley means to use the Walford domain to bolster his flagging influence.
My lord, our soldiers have had scarce little time to rest since our last battle. I fear for their morale if they were forced to take the field against Hyzant.
Is there naught we can do?
We have sent request for aid to House End more than once, my lord. However, our pleas have always fallen on deaf ears. Doubtless Sorsley has been biding his time to strike.
Then it is too late for words. There must be something we can do to avoid straining our already ragged forces.
There is, my lord. However...
I dread the words that follow however when they come from you.
Let us ask the Archduke for assistance.
Are you mad, Benedict?
We must needs focus on the matter in front of us. If we weather this storm, we may see that it has unearthed unseen opportunities. However, if we let Sorsley's advance continue unabated, I'm afraid retreat may be our only option.
You are right, as usual. Very well. Ready a bird.
All right. It looks like Corentin's character story popped up here. I don't think I'm gonna do that though. I've been actually planning on doing maybe a video or a few videos of like all of the different character stories and just running them, you know, kind of back to back. So I think I'm gonna save that. But let's stop in here and do the side story here. So it says, Sorsley of the Saintly Seven marches on Wolfort and waits for his moment to strike.
Your Excellency, our troops have boarded and are awaiting your orders.
Good. Stand by until I give the order to depart. We make for the Wolfort domain. Upon the foundations of their keep, we shall build the glory of House End. Tell the troops, they shall be well rewarded for their feats of bravery this day.
Yes, Your Excellency.
All right, next up here at Castle Wolfort, it says Frederica and Gila discuss Gustadolf's true motives for invading Glenbrook.
Recent events have not quelled your desire for knowledge, I see. You make your teacher very happy, Frederica.
It is progress that I can see. I enjoy the growth that comes with learning.
And you should be proud.
Sheila, why do you think my brother attacked Glenbrook?
War is a means to an end, always. The question is, what end does he hope to arrive at?
But what could he hope to gain by razing the castle? I can see no point to his cruelty.
There is always a point, Frederica. As for whether others agree with that reasoning, well, oftentimes that doesn't matter.
How dreadful. Why must it come to arms? Why can't we settle our differences with words?
So long as men covet, there will be war. That fact is immutable.
Then war will continue forever, so long as men exist. Isn't that what you're saying?
Indeed. History has attested to that fact time and again.
What could there possibly be in this world worth risking life and limb for? I cannot fathom the answer.
And 'tis not a question you should trouble yourself with answering, Frederica.
Alright, so here at Whiteholm Castle, the Archduke responds to Wolfort's request for reinforcements.
I see House End has raised their banners. I can practically smell their greed from here. Doubtless that slug Sorcelet is licking his lips even now.
I did not think House Wolfort would deign to request aid.
They surprise even me. Has the young wolf learned to swallow his pride?
What should we do, Your Grace?
We cannot very well be seen to ignore those under our protection. Go.
And what of Prince Roland?
That shall have to wait. We may have use for him yet.
And so did the two forces converge on the Wolfort domain, now the linchpin of the Norzellian continent. From the west, General of Vlora leads the might of the Grand Duchy of Esfrost. From the east, Sorcelet End of the Saintly Seven commands an army from the holy state of Hyzant. From within the heart of this maelstrom, one man strives to find the path that will see the house he serves safely through the storm. Benedict Pascal, steward of House Wolfort, wise in war and peace alike, contemplates what to do next.
Alright, so it looks like we've got a voting phase coming up, but there also is another side story here to take care of. So it says, Gustadolf appears before the captive Roland and makes a startling request.
Release his fetters.
Yes, Your Grace.
You look well, my prince.
What are you doing here?
I bring good tidings. Your execution has been stayed. And I have a request to make of you.
What? What have you not already taken from me?
The good tidings did not end with a lease on life, my prince. I mean to marry your sister.
What?
However, I fear that without your assistance, she may not be entirely amenable to the arrangement.
Has your ambition driven you mad? I'll hang before I see you wed.
I had feared you might say that. In the days ahead, do remember that at first I attempted a diplomatic approach.
You bastard!
Alright, so next up here we've got our vote phase. So it says House Wolford discusses their next move amidst their ever-changing surroundings.
Anna, a report on our current situation, if you will.
Yes, sir. Both Esfrost and Hyzant have mustered armies, and are drawing upon Castle Wolfort as we speak. Given the sudden military action, Prince Roland's execution has been stayed.
Thank you, Anna. We have much to consider.
Indeed. Our situation may be grim, but there is opportunity in chaos. However, we have scarce little time to find it.
What are you thinking, Benedict? Are we to seriously consider fighting under Esfrost's banners?
The time that House Wolford could stand alone ended with the Saltiron War. There is no future for us if we do not cast our lot with a greater nation. However, we at least have the freedom of choice.
Choice? What choice do we have?
I see. You had an ulterior motive to requesting aid from Esfrost.
Just so. We could offer Hyzant a glorious victory.
The Archduke's army would be caught off guard. Are you certain Hyzant would offer us asylum?
Most certainly. House End would be eager to bolster their flagging reputation by defeating Esfrost in the field. Doubtless, both nations view us as prey on its last legs. They forget that a cornered wolf is the most dangerous.
That means we must consider allying with Esfrost as well.
If that is what we decide, then so be it, so long as we decide. Esfrost did not ignite the fires of war lightly. They prepared for 30 years. Even so, they would only have acted if they had confidence in their chances at victory.
Do you believe Esfrost's ambition could swallow even Hyzant?
That ain't the point. After what those bastards did, I can't well say I savor the thought of fighting under them. Couldn't look at myself in the mirror, in fact.
Nothing would be more shameful than failing our duty to our house.
So we have to decide then. Esfrost or Hyzant?
Neither force has the upper hand. Our choice will surely guide the tide of battle.
Very well. Then let us consult the scales.
Alright, will we fight beside Esfrost or Hyzant? I would ask the others what they think. Let's do the conviction choices here quickly. I'm so glad Prince Roland's execution has been stayed. Still, I cannot help but wonder how he fares in the enemy's hands. Top option here is the scales may have decided our path, but that does not change the fact that I handed my own friend over to our invaders. I haven't the right to fret over him. Yeah, that doesn't even really make sense. Esfrost needs Prince Roland alive if they're able to control Glenbrook. No harm will come to him as long as he is useful to them. That's true. I wish we could help him, but we turned him over to protect our domain. We must keep pushing forward. Wow, that seems so horrible. Alright, we're going utility this time. You're right, my lord, but we all know how His Highness can be sometimes. Indeed, he isn't the type to merely accept his fate as a puppet, let alone one of Gustadolf's. I wish he would be more careful. What does Esfrost hope to gain by invading Glenbrook in the first place? I wish I knew. If we did, we might be able to figure out how to counter the Archduke. First Esfrost and now Hyzant. Just what do they want with House Wolford? I thought we were allies. Norzelia was meant to know true peace. We even held a celebration for our new mining venture. Don't they have any shame? We will not yield our domain to anyone. This land is ours, and it will remain that way as long as we stand. Or the other great powers of this realm view us as vulnerable prey, but we will make them see the error of their ways. And then our domain occupies a very strategic position between other nations. It is only natural for them to want it, but we will use those selfish desires against them here. Kind of like that one. I see. If the two nations clashed here, then we can be the ones who decide who emerge victorious. If we use our knowledge of the land, we can hit them where it hurts most. You never cease to amaze, my lord. The strategy could turn us from the hunted to the hunters. Our house must stand together now more than ever. I'm counting on you. Yeah, that's pretty solid, actually. Accept Ezfrost's aid to fight Sorcelet, or conspire with Sorcelet to launch a surprise attack on Ezfrost. I think my last playthrough, I sided with Ezfrost to fight Hyzant. And the reason for that was, it seemed to me like that route was going to be the more difficult battle. I kind of like looked at them, right, because Hyzant had a lot of cavalry troops, if I remember correctly. And, yeah, it looked like it was going to be the more challenging of the two, and I wanted to have a battle that was a little bit more challenging, so I think that means then that this time we need to ally with Hyzant. Let me just see here. Yeah, and that way we'll fight Avlora. Yep, that looks like that's the case. Okay, so let's see. Fight or accept Ezfrost's aid and fight Sorcelet. Conspire with Sorcelet to launch a surprise attack on Ezfrost. Yeah, so we need to convince Anna and Hewitt. Let's start with them. Relations with... Oh, hang on a second here. I'm actually going to postpone this and save. Alright. Our relations with Ezfrost are currently stable. I wonder if the benefits of allying with Hyzant are worth destroying that. Let us cast our lot with Sorcelet and bring Ezfrost to heel. Seems you and I are not of the same mind, Lord Serenoa. Might I ask your reasons? After we handed over Roland, I noticed a change in Ezfrost, and not a good one. Things will only get worse from here on out. That doesn't seem like that would probably be that appealing to her. But I believe, second one is, I believe Hyzant's attack that perfect opportunity to release us from this impasse we've reached, where our forces are in poor condition. I believe House N's wealth could help us get back on our feet. Yeah, I think the middle option seems better.
In that case...
No matter how great a nation Hyzant may be, it would not avail them to leave Ezfrost and Glenbrook unattended. Parlaying with them now may be our best chance to enter into a mutually beneficial alliance, though a single mistake could land us in the Holy State servitude instead. Alright, Anna's in deep thought. Next up, let's talk with Hewitt.
Lord Serenoa.
I agree with Eredor. I don't want to be allies with Ezfrost, but siding with Hyzant now is tantamount to betrayal. And who would dare trust such disloyal warriors after that? I wonder if the others would agree. Alright, so we're going to side with Sorcelet. I see. Pray tell me, my lord, what makes you so sure we should ally with Hyzant? The Holy State has something greater than military might on its side, something not even Ezfrost could contend with. That's fair insult, right? Relying on Gustadolf now may result in the duchy swallowing us whole in the near future. Or Roland will forever remain the duchy's prisoner should we stay on their side. Yeah, I think appealing to Roland seems like a good route. I don't know though. You haven't given up on Prince Roland, have you? I'm sorry, Hewitt. We are all bound by the tipping of the scales. But things have changed. As both friend and vassal, I want to save Roland. I must. Thank you, Lord Serenoa. With Hyzant at our backs, we may be even able to negotiate Prince Roland's release. Lord Serenoa, is there anything else I should consider? Perhaps it would help me to gain more insight into where my token should land. Man. Okay, well, apparently just appealing to Roland isn't enough. The duchy's growing power is a threat to the Holy State. Now is the only time we can ask for their aid. Or do you think we can trust Archduke Gustadolf? Or I cannot imagine what would become of us should we stand by Azfrost and lose the battle to Hyzant. I mean, none of these really seem like they're all that great. Duchy's growing power is a threat to the Holy State. Now is the only time that we can ask for their aid. I mean, I don't know. Let's go with that. A fine point. Hyzant's own borders would be in peril should Azfrost capture our domain. The Holy State itself will be forced to act, regardless of House N's motives. We could use that opportunity to acquire their aid. Okay, wow, well, apparently that was the right way to go. It's pretty rare to be getting the moved by your words. on just basically me just winging it, right? All right, let's see here. Benedict is up next. So he says, each nation has its strengths and weaknesses. We must carefully consider which would best serve us in battle. I wonder what the others might be thinking. Alright, so we're going to cast our lot with Sorcelet. Bring Azfrost to heal. So you would suggest we join forces with Hyzant. I must admit, I am curious as to your reasons, my lord. The Holy State is the wealthiest nation in Norzalia. As such, the bountiful aid they could supply would be second to none. Or allying with the Holy State would change the course of this war. There is no telling what other paths may reveal themselves before us then. Or we may be able to use House End as a means to gain more powerful allies in the Holy State. That's actually pretty solid reasoning. No telling what other paths may reveal. I mean, it seems like all of these are pretty solid. There's no denying the fortune Hyzant has amassed because of their monopoly over salt. I must admit that even I have considered allying with them for this very reason. One must have ample riches to fund their forces. We may very well be able to fight back the duchy with their support.
Certainly not.
Allow me one more question, my lord. What are your thoughts on Azfrost? Alright, the longer we remain under their command, the more fraught our situation will become. Or I fear that the people of Glenbrook will eventually tire of resisting Gustadolf's rule if they see us brought to heel. Or House Wolford stands for justice. As such, I cannot simply accept as Frosty rule where might is right. Man, I don't know what would appeal more to Benedict here. I think I'm going to go with the top option here. Indeed, the duchy likely intends to rid Glenbrook of all the high houses just as they did House Falks the other day. We must be free of their control as soon as possible. The question is whether that time is now or later. Alright, deep in thought. Good enough. Gila is last. So she says, my knowledge of both nations has caused me quite the dilemma. While I am concerned about fighting alongside the clannish Holy State, I cannot bring myself to put my faith into the duchy either. What are your thoughts, Lord Serenoa? Alright, we're going to cast our lot with Sorcelet. So you would prefer to fight alongside Hyzant. Might I inquire as to why? I do not think our situation will improve as long as we bend the knee to Azfrost, or the Holy State holds the right to Norzalia's salt. I would use this battle as a means to better our relationship. I mean, I don't know. I guess that seems
Possibly.
better. Indeed, and we need Hyzant's power and aid more than ever now. The duchy is wary of House Wolford. They may not be so generous with their soldiers or supplies in the future. On the other hand, we might be able to gain precisely that if we join forces with the Holy State, with the common goal of felling Azfrost. Is there anything else on your mind, my lord? To be perfectly honest, I find it hard to stomach bending the knee to the same cowards who invaded Glenbrook and slayed King Ragna. Yeah, wow, that's fair. Well, we don't know what sort of treatment Roland is being subjected to. I wish to rescue him at the soonest opportunity. I mean, I don't know. Either one of these seems okay. I'm going to go with the top one here.
Possibly.
His Majesty may have pleaded guilty to the charges, but there's no denying what we saw with our own eyes. I can understand the frustration you must feel, Lord Serenoa. Those very feelings may be key to winning our next battle. Alright, wow. Moved by our words. Alright, well that's going to be it for this this vote phase then. Let's get this started. And, yeah, we'll continue on.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we join forces with the army of Esfrost? Or do we choose to side with Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token.
Oh, I cut him off there. My bad.
I stand with you, my lord.
I have no qualms with that.
Changed my mind. Oh, well.
You have my vote.
I think this is going to end up being unanimous, isn't it?
I have faith in you.
Put my faith in you, Lord Cyranoa. Alright. And Eridor wanted to do that anyway. So yeah, I think this is
Scales
the
of
unanimous.
conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Alright. Unanimous it is.
The way forward is decided. We ally with the holy state of Hyzant and decimate the Esfrosti forces.
Let's do that.
The road forward is decided. We fight for Hyzant and crush Esfrost's forces.
I shall send word to Minister Sorsley at once to arrange a parley and discuss strategy.
I'll send word to the guards to shut the gates and tighten their patrols.
Thank you, and let us attend to our duties.
I pray Minister Sorsley will hear us out.
From distant parapets, even the greatest armies appear benign. Let us hope Sorsley becomes more amenable to an alliance with a full reckoning of Esfrost's power.
Regardless, I sense a hard fight on the horizon.
Minister Sorsley, leading the forces of the Holy State of Hyzant, advances into the Wolffort domain. The once proud house has found themselves shorn of the freedom they held so dear, and trapped between two nations bent on expansion. Their only hope of survival is to cast their lot with one of their would-be adversaries. Cyranoa chooses to side with Hyzant, crafting a plot to betray General Avlora and drive the army of Esfrost from his home. The road ahead is precarious, and a single misstep could spell the end of House Wolffort and all who serve it.
So we're to seek reprieve from Hyzant, the same nation under which my mother and her people were branded heretics and endured untold suffering.
I understand your hesitation in fighting by their side, Frederica. But there is no other way. You needn't take the field if you wish.
Nonsense. I am a Wolffort now. I will fight.
As you wish.
Jila, tell us what you know about this Minister Sorsley.
Sorsley is one of the Saintly Seven. He oversees the salt harvest at the source and the Roselle that work there.
His authority over Hyzant's salt gives him great influence, but many whisper of his petty and jealous nature behind his back.
So he's got the resources to put up a fight then, eh?
And he has been preparing for this moment. We can expect his forces to be well provisioned and well trained.
Do not think he will be easily swayed. The Saintly Seven are not known for heeding the pleas of common men.
Then we shall have to distinguish ourselves from common men.
Surely he will see that he only stands to benefit from joining our forces. It is the only way to guarantee Esfrost's defeat. The future of House Wolffort will hinge on the hours to come. May we all arrive at the end of them safely.
House Wolffort shall persevere.
My lord, we've received word from General Avlora. She plans to meet the enemy army at the docks. She asked that we meet her there at once to hold a war council.
Then let us not keep her waiting.
Alright, so we've got a side story here at the Citadel of the Sands. It says Sorcerer speaks with Booker about his true reasons for allying with Wolfort.
And you are certain the other saints harbor no suspicions?
House End is known for its clandestine dealings. They suspect nothing outside of the ordinary.
Good. Do not fail me, Booker. We must open another transportation route now that Glenbrook is close to us. We mustn't let a mere war stem the flow of our goods.
Of course, Your Excellency. Once we have secured the Wolfort domain, I suspect our work will proceed even faster than before. To say nothing of the accolades you are sure to receive from the Holy One for bringing Wolfort into the fold.
At last, Exham and those sniveling upstarts will know their place. They will see who among the Saintly Seven truly wields the power, as will the Holy One. Only Esfrost's forces stand in our way. Have the Wolforts agreed to our plan?
Yes, Your Excellency. When the time is right, they will turn on Esfrost, and we shall entrap them from both sides.
Good. Good. I wish you glory on the battlefield, Booker. Crush those as frosty dogs under your heel. When they have been well bloodied and bruised, I shall lead the main force to deliver their final punishment. The detractors of House End's military cunning will have to hold their tongues after today.
Alright, next up here it says, held captor in her own home, Cordelia realizes that even more difficult days lie ahead.
I've had enough.
You've had enough? Where are your manners? You are our captive, and it is only by my brother's grace that you aren't eating scraps off the floor.
She should be crying tears of joy for our largesse. Perhaps she still has delusions of royalty. We should disabuse her of such notions. She must learn to finish her meal, even if we must force it down her gullet. Don't flail too much, dear, else this fork might prick something it isn't meant to. Get away!
What is that infernal racket?
She's so cruel, brother. She said she spits on Esfrost's generosity.
Must you bicker like children? Remind me how old you are, Erica.
Have you finished with your duties, brother? If so, perhaps we could enjoy a meal together.
My duties are endless. In fact, I would have you two oversee our occupation of the capital in my stead.
Can't you have that brute Avlora do it?
General Avlora is afield. House Wolfort has requested our aid, and they deserve some token for handing us the prince. Your options for rescue are fast dwindling, Princess.
They'll be gone at last. It must be tonight.
Alright, we'll finish this one up here with the exploration phase. So it says the War Council with Avlora continues. Benedict later reveals his true thoughts on their strategy.
Our scouts have sent their report. Hyzant has dispatched a small force bound to our location. They're expected to arrive at nightfall.
We will do battle in the dark, then.
We should map out the perimeter and terrain before they come.
You sound frightened. There's no need. My troops shall make quick work of Sorsley. You will see that giving us Roland was the wise choice.
I simply think it best to be prepared. There is no room for regrets in battle.
A small force? What is that bastard planning?
Likely he intends to strike after we've worn each other thin. Victory will come easily for him then.
Saving the ripest fruit for himself, eh? Seems no matter where we look, some beast is slavering for a bite of our land.
And this is the beast we have chosen to side with. We must move forward lest we look back in doubt.
Alright, it says, it appears we'll be facing off against Esfrost's army in the rain. We should have a look around before the Hyzantian forces arrive. So this exploration phase, we've kind of technically already done it. Even though I sided with the with Esfrost last time, the items are the same here. So there isn't going to be anything around. So we'll just do the conviction choices here. So it says, House Wolfart's soldiers look nervous, but they needn't worry. We've got General Avlora on our side, and she's never lost a fight. Then we shall rely on Esfrost for this victory and do our best not to stand in your way, or we appreciate you coming to our aid, and we will do all we can to aid you in this fight. Where the Wolfart domain shares a border with Hyzant, this battle will be a decisive one for our house. I'm going to go with the middle one. It just seems more appropriate for House Wolfart. Ha ha ha! I never thought I'd see the day the famed House Wolfart asked the Grand Duchy for aid. Once we win this battle, I shall be sure to relay your heartfelt gratitude to the Archduke. Have my thanks. Oh, oops. Okay, apparently there's a lightning amulet here. Wait, did I not do this? I see multiple items here. Okay, well, I guess I was wrong, and I didn't actually do this yet. Alright, so, lightning amulet up on the rooftop. Let's see. Left corner. Yeah, right here, 500 coins. That's kind of wild. I thought that I already took this path once. I guess not. Alright, so down here we've got 3 iron. Let's see. Water next to a Wolfart soldier. Oh, right here. Yeah, 1,100 coins. Alright, there must be some leather. I am honestly very surprised that I didn't already get these items. There's a leather. I mean, you know, none of this stuff is going to be needed by any means, but... Okay, I think I got this next item already. Let's just see. No. Yeah, it was back here. It was the quality fiber. Let's see here. So there must have been something So it was the Marvels of Norzelia. Yeah, so I wonder if the last time I did this, I grabbed this item and then didn't grab any of the other stuff. I don't know. I'm a little, honestly, I'm a little confused at this point. But anyways, the notes were again Marvels of Norzelia Volume 2, and that should have been like somewhere right around in here. But that is gone, so that's just, you know, that's very interesting. Anyways, all right, let's talk to these people too, I guess. There were more people here not too long ago. Trade was thriving back then, but I guess it's to be expected with a war. This guy says, the word lately is that the Holy State is something terrifying. They say the word of their goddess is absolute. The goddess speaks through the Hierophant, and anybody who disobeys is punished. I hear some are even killed. He said the goddess has always been strict, but it's worse than ever with this Hierophant. So the goddess's teachings are more than just talk, and the Hierophant is supposed to be respected and feared. Yeah, there it is. Learning all you can about defying the Holy One. So I've already done that. Feels like just yesterday the three nations were celebrating a new age of peace, and now we meet on the field of battle. Will Norzelia ever see true peace? Here's the cat. You know, again, I've already talked with that. Here's the that guy. Flora says, you needn't follow my commands, Lord Cyrano. I only ask that you stay out of my way. Just remember that Hyzant is your enemy and not us. But if you dared turn your blade against me, know that I would return the favor in full force. Oh, yep, that's what we're counting on. This reminds me of the Saltire War. Back then, Hyzant had a famed archer in their ranks. Yep, that would be Archibald. His dignified figure was the envy of all. Sad. Times have changed. I have no doubt Minister Sorcelet plans to make the use of us, but we will use him in equal measure. Defeating Esfrost will bring us closer to the heart of Hyzant. Taking the field beside Minister Sorcelet is merely a step in that direction. Anna says, it appears Minister Sorcelet embarked in hopes of distinguishing himself through battle. One can only wonder how Hyzant and the Hierophant view his actions. This soldier says, to think we'd be fighting with the Black Irons who invaded our kingdom. Try as I might, these nerves just won't settle down. Yeah, that's fair. Frederica says, it was not so long ago that General of Laura marched on Whiteholm Castle. I doubt I will ever forget the way she so callously struck down Prince Franny. Yeah, no kidding. I think, man, Frederica is always just, and I've said this in a few of the other playthroughs as well, she truly is the moral compass of the entire game. She's probably the best when it comes to just, you know, making moral decisions and reminding, you know, Serenella of, yeah, I guess the correct choices. But anyways, it says, General of Laura is indeed a fearsome warrior. Allying with Hyzant gives us the chance we need to strike her down. She was indeed the one who struck the fatal blow, but Gustadolf was the one who gave the order. Or neither will I. She spilled the blood of the royal family. As a retainer to the crown, I must avenge them. I actually like the middle one. She's just acting on orders. Yes, I suppose my brother is more terrifying of the two. I'd always known him to be cold, and yet I do not mean to place the blame upon him. These are merely the realities of, but that the blame is on him. If the need arose, I would order my vassals to strike down those who stood against us. That is the responsibility of a commander. I can see that you have steeled yourself for what lies ahead, as must I. As your bride-to-be, Serenella, I must be able to face the realities of war like the rest of House Wolfort. Yeah, and I mean, sure, yeah, also, you know, Gustadolf gave the order, but at the end of the day, you know, you're still obeying that order, right? And whether or not you think that's a just order or not is really, at the end of the day, your choice. So, Avlora could have disobeyed, right? But anyways, as you predicted, it looks like the Hyzantian army will strike at night. And then, no, this actually isn't last. Eridor says, so as Frost and Hyzant face off again, it's the stuff of nightmares, I tell you. I just pray this doesn't turn out to be the second coming of the Saltire War. Yeah. Foreshadowing. House N specialize in managing salt, not soldiers. Their might on the battlefield pales in comparison to House Marshall and House Farrant, but I'm sure we can still put them to good use. Yeah, that's true. Alright, that's it. I've talked to everybody now and explored everything, and I don't think the houses, yeah, you can't get inside the houses, so let's get going here. I'm ready, and Hyzant's forces should be arriving shortly. Alright, and that is actually going to be it for this one. As always, I hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.